Hi, I'm Tim from the Heresy group. Today I want to talk about this. This is my Tokyo Marui Scar L. Now, if you do want to watch just a full review of the gun itself, then you can do that back on the channel, and you can visit that by hitting www.theheresygroup.com. Now, this today is about the setup of this gun, why I choose to use it, and the accessories that I have on it. So if you do just want to find out about the gun again, you can head back to the link. There's a full review on it there. So, you know, this for me is my primary. This is the gun that I always go to. I love my 416, but this has taken a real big place in my heart. There is a few reasons that I've identified as to what that is. One of them is just the feeling of the gun in general. I love the height, I like the narrowness of it. It feels so much more narrow body-wise than the 416 platform. Also, there's no squish in the stock. You know, when you get that stock into your shoulder, there's no squash there at all. And with the adjustment that you get on a lot of the stocks for M4 platforms, there's a little bit of movement in there, and I do like the firmness of this. Kind of reminds me of my old school snipering days. There is obviously just the platform itself. The TM makes an incredibly beautiful gun, and because of that, you know, this is finished to a real high degree, and I do like it. Now, I've got this in the Scar L variant, which is obviously chambered in 5.56, it will run on M4 mags, whereas the Scar H platform runs on a 7.62 based magazine. So if you do want to swap between the two platforms, you obviously have to swap your mags out, whereas with this I can just pick up either gun, use my TM mags, and off I go. So that is one of the big bonuses of running this platform and the 416 platform. And I tend to use this for rural stuff, I tend to use this for patrolling, anything where I need to have a little bit more reach, then this is the one that I go for. In regards of the 416, you know, it is the Cqb gun. It is the gun that I use for, you know, if we're in a vehicle or we're bouncing out to do kind of lots and lots of urban work, then I will take that, and that's kind of the swapping point for these. Now, you can use either of them for both, but I just find that the Cqb stuff is, I'm more comfortable with the 416, and when I'm out on the ground doing some long distance stuff, this is a little bit better. So the accessories that I choose to run on it is what I get asked about the most. Got an EOTech up on the top here. I like it actually sat a little bit further back. Most guys, and especially with the real steel kind of ordnance, you want to have it just over the back of the barrel. For me, I like it a little bit further back. That's just a personal preference thing. Moving down, I've got the Element. This is the LA5 PEC. This is the second version, the Gen 2 one, where it has the lenses over the caps, and the adjustment system's a little bit better. I wouldn't say it's great, but it is a little bit better than the original. Now, this is the green and IR variant with white light on here as well, so it's the kind of fully loaded PEC. For me, I like it. I like the positioning of it. I don't run a secondary sensor on it. I use the button on the top, show exactly how that operates. So I bring the gun in nice and tight, and I can roll my thumb over the top from this side, and obviously I can get my eyes down sight as well. It makes it nice and simple. So if I'm going to be shooting right-handed, again, that hand can come over the top. If I'm going to swap and just go left-handed shooting, again, my thumb can come over the top. It's nice and easy for me to be able to access that. So that's no problem, again, on both sides. The other thing with the torch and the 45 grip, I run a 45 grip on both guns. Now, I like to have a very similar setup on both of my guns, so it doesn't really matter too much which one I pick up. I've got a very similar setup. So I run the grip like this with this spacer in between my fingers at the front. This stops the gun from wobbling back and forward, and it gives me that nice canted grip. So it allows me to just kind of pull the gun back. So I'm kind of pulling it into my chest. Gives me a nice sleek silhouette by being able to keep both my arms in, and also it's extremely comfortable for me to be able to keep the gun up for a long period of time. Also makes the torch very accessible. Again, I don't run any pressure pads or anything like that. I don't like all the cables. I can run my thumb underneath, so I get that cheek weld in, and then I can run my finger on this like so, and can access it again if I'm swapping shoulders. And I do shoot a lot left-handed with this. As you can see, my thumb is straight on there, and it can access the torch no problems. Again, I can adjust the fan buyer head. I can also reach out and get down to the tracer unit as well. So people ask me why I always run suppressors on my guns. My 416 has spent a lot of its life with a suppressor on the front, and obviously with this I run the tracer, which does, you know, pretty much double as a suppressor. Takes a little bit of the clack away from the gun noise. You can see that in my 416 video. If you want to check that out, I'll make sure it's linked. You can click on the little white eye in the corner, and you can go and watch that after you've watched this. So yeah, although you like running a tracer, this is the Tokyo Marui Replica tracer, so it's a replica of their unit. It's extremely good. I've only used it handful handful of times, but when I have used it, it has worked incredibly well. One more mod that I have done is I've put the shortened bolt handle on here from Laylax. For me, it just stops it from getting in the way when I'm shooting over this side. So if I run my hand round, shooting right-handed, it just stops me from potentially catching that by being a little bit shorter. Again, my hand is quite far forward, so it's not really too much of a problem. So that's the platform itself. It runs at about 290 FPS, so by the time I've got 2.5s in it, it's down at like 260. Means nothing to me. I've hit some incredible range shots with this. If we're nice and tight, it's incredibly accurate. It has a very, very little variance in FPS, so I think, you know, when I chronoed it, I put 10 shots through, and I think there was like 2 or 3 FPS difference in all of the shots. So that just keeps this gun super, super accurate. For me, as a manipulations platform, left-handed, right-handed, this works incredibly well. We've got ambidextrous fire selector, and then also we've got ambidextrous mag release, so mag release on both sides. The only thing that isn't ambidextrous on this is the bolt catch, but for me, not too much of a problem. Right-handed, it's just bringing my left hand back to press that in, and again, if I'm shooting the opposite way round, I can essentially get to it with my finger. So again, no real problem in regards of swapping hands or, you know, moving the gun around for weapons manipulation. Absolutely love this platform. I run a dual point sling on this rather than on the 416. I run, you know, a MS3 style, you know, dual to single, and so I can manipulate that weapons platform, but I do run explicitly a dual setup on this in regards to the sling. Any questions that you have around this, any comments, any feedback, if you've got one of these, you want some advice, or there's some different accessories that you run on here that you want me to try out, please make sure you put it in the comments box below. I will be going through all my weapons with this kind of overview, personal preference, a little bit of rundown on them, you know, less of a review of the gun and more of a overview of my setup. Again, comments, questions, feedback, anything like that, please make sure you put it in the comments box below. Loads more content coming to the channel. If you haven't been over and visited our channel, it's theheresygroup.com. Guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.